Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be listening to some beautiful stories about angels. Like and subscribe.
Have y'all ever had an experience with God that just kind of made him like undeniable to you? And if y'all have, just ditch this video because I kind of want to hear him. Um, but if you don't believe that angels are real, they real. They real, and it's almost scary. So I'm at this Audi, and I'm always up at this Audi that's in Highland Park. Always here. I'm always here. I love Audi. And it was a homeless man. He been up here for I don't know how long. He was up here every single time I came up here. Never said nothing to this man before. I don't know this man. Y'all know the homeless people that y'all see, and it's like, oh, they always up there. This is the same thing with this man. But this one particular day, I felt in my spirit, it not pissed me off, but I was so scared. I just heard God say, ask him, is he hungry? I said, God, what? I said, what? I heard God say, ask him if he hungry. And it's making me a little emotional because I'm gonna just explain. Um, I heard it as soon as I walked past him. I felt it as soon as I walked past him because he was just asking me like, anybody can spare some change, and I was like, I don't have no change, sir. I'm sorry. Um, but God said, ask him if he hungry. So I went into the store. I didn't ask nothing on the way in there. I went into the store. I only had to get a couple things. I had to get to work. Um, so I went to the store, got my stuff, check out, and I didn't see him because he was like past the door. And so I'm like, whew, okay, maybe I ain't gotta really do it. Um, but no, he was digging in the garbage can, and I said, oh my gosh, and I felt my heart tighten, like my chest just really tightened up, like I couldn't avoid it. I don't know. It was kind of scary. Like, not scary in like a bad way, but it was just like, I'm nervous. I don't know. And mind y'all, when I tell y'all this man has been up here for years, he been up here for years. I've been in this area for years. So my whole life, actually. I've been in this area my whole life. So I've been seeing this man, y'all. I've been seeing this man for so long. So I start walking towards my car. And then something like my chest was still tight. I'm like, oh my gosh. So I just turn around. I'm like, sir, are you hungry? I'm like, do you want something at the store? He's like, yeah, I'm hungry. And I felt led because I got a bridge card. So I'm like, no, I'm like, I ain't really, spending my own money or whatever. So I just went ahead and did. I'm like, sir, you want some food? Blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, you can grab a couple things. But I'm like, I gotta go. I gotta get to work. And y'all, when I tell y'all, he walked in. He grabbed some pomegranates that was like $2. He grabbed some pomegranates seeds, and he gave it to me. And I'm like, this all you want? I'm like, you can grab a couple more things. Like, I'm like, I do gotta get to work though. And I'm like, this all you want? He was like, yes, ma'am. And when he said yes, ma'am, he locked eyes with me. But y'all, like, when I tell you it felt like peaceful. I don't know. I cannot explain it. It almost make me want to cry because it's just like he had his heart just felt so, I don't know. It was like soft or something. I don't know. I cannot explain it. I cannot explain it. It was, I'm gonna say gentle. He seemed very gentle. I'm checking out. Um, and he was just like, he was like, thank you, ma'am. And he was about to get ready to walk out the store, and one of the ladies at the cash register, he was starting to walk out, but the light hadn't turned green on the little self checkout to say that I confirmed the purchase or whatever. And she was like, sir, you cannot walk. And she was just telling her pretty much she can't walk out till the purchase was complete. And it irritated me a little bit. I'm like, you seen me walk in here. The store not that big. But after I was done, I was a little irritated. So I held up the receipt and I walked out, and he walked out too. And that was pretty much it. However, y'all, I have not seen that man since that day. And people walk past him every single time I was up here. Every single time. I've never seen that man again. Like, I haven't seen him, and I'm up here all the, like, when I tell y'all he been up here, I've never seen that man again. I've never seen him again. Moral of the story is just be obedient to God, to what he telling you to do. You don't know what he could be testing you for. You don't know what he could be doing. Like, I don't know. And right after I seen a billboard, and the billboard said more for you. And you know how you go past something and you see the signs, you see certain signs every single day, but one day it just pop out to you, like it just jump out at you. This how it was with that sign. And the sign said more for you, more for you. Y'all, do not be disobedient. If God is telling you to do something, it's gonna be hard, I know, but do it. You don't know what he has planned for you. You don't know who God's sending your way to test you for whatever. You don't know if that's why I was just like, I'm like, Lord, this gotta be an angel. This gotta be something unearthly. He just didn't even feel real at that moment. I don't know, it felt very crazy to me. Be obedient, y'all. You don't know how God want to bless you, and how God wants to use you to be a blessing to somebody else. Because it's just so much, badness in the world. And maybe he want to use you. I don't know how he want to use you, but maybe he want to use you to do his will in some different ways. I don't know, y'all. I'm just rambling. But yeah, y'all, be obedient. It might be scary, but do what he's telling you to do. He got a reason for why he doing what he doing.
Hey, what's up, family? It's a story time here. I'm going to tell you about my encounter with an angel, the time that an angel sold me a house. Let me set the scene. 2006, there's a developer that comes to our suburban area of Dallas. It's a new developer because typically they build high-end custom homes, but they decided to come into the medium to middle price range. And so, beautiful sign, brilliant indigo and red, and has a weird name that's kind of hard to pronounce. Nobody really knows how to say it correctly. So anyway, we go to the lot. It's on a Saturday, and the salesperson is absolutely incredible. Her name is Lisa. She says, "Hey man, we want to get you in the house. I got a good feeling about y'all." Now we hear all of this stuff. Salespeople will tell you anything to get the deal, and they always say, "Don't pre-qualify yourself. Let us qualify you and make this thing happen." So we did that. Now, we had been down this road before, and we run into a few snags in the road, but this time we all agreed that we had a good feeling. The kids, my wife, all of us. And Lisa is just like our cousin. She is cool as a pin. Every question we got, she got an answer. She offered us jelly beans and sodas and cookies, and so it was just amazing. There is nobody else here but us, so we got Lisa's undivided attention. So she says, "I'm going to give you the name of these people. Call them. They're going to get you qualified, and you're going to be ready to roll." So we called them immediately. Literally in the car, we called them. And in like 1 minute, they called us back. Literally 1 minute. No cap. They said, "You good to go. We only see one small thing that you got to take care of." And I thought it was the Ford Taurus that had gone bad on us. Nah, baby. They said $27 check from Pizza Hut. And in my head, I'm like, $27 check from Pizza Hut. What do that have to do with the house? But who cares? Yeah, I remember that check. I remember it was one of them days. You know how it is when your kid's hungry. And, but we just forgot about it because we never heard anything from it. So we tell them we're going to get that taken care of as soon as possible, Monday, in 24 hours. And they said, "We'll do that and you ready to roll. But here's our number. You got any questions, call us with anything. We're going to call you with certain things we need. And when we need them, you need to get them." And we said, "Of course." So we're excited. We're screaming. We cabbage patching in the car. We're doing all of that. So we go back. It's Sunday. We pick out the colors, the lot, the elevation, the shingle colors, everything that you pick out when you buy a house. Typically, you do that later. But Lisa said, "No, we finna seal this right now." because they're about to have a 35% price increase. And right now you can get any house that you want. But when that price thing changes, that's going to change your choices. So we locked in on the one that we wanted, the one that we felt was for us. We picked out everything. It's locked in. And I said, Lisa, I don't have the money in hand. She said, write me a check. I said, I don't even have a check. She said, well, you got to get a check, and it can't be a temp check. It's going to be a printed check with your name on it. You need that ASAP. So why is it we go home and there's a whole box of checks from my bank in the mailbox? I don't even remember ordering them, but they were there when we needed it. And so we done locked in everything with Lisa. We done the contract like we did give her the check. And then we get back and don't nobody know who Lisa is. Nobody. There is a Lisa, but the Lisa that's there is this little small little white lady that's not so friendly. But our Lisa, as we called her, was a tall black lady, and she smoked Newports, which is funny. Don't judge me because my angel smoked Newports, you feel me? But nonetheless, nobody had ever heard of her. And on Wednesdays at this particular subdivision, they had a courtesy lady. The courtesy lady was just there to open and close the model so people could see, and she would give them flyers and floor plans, and then set the appointment for the salesperson to come in. And I said, ma'am, where's Lisa? She said, oh, well, you talking about the little white lady? Everybody would call her the little white lady. I'm not capping, but that's how they described her. And I said, no, ma'am, the black Lisa. She said, baby, it's only 2 black women that work here. Me, and I don't know what the other lady's name is, and she is not even acting because she hurt herself. So it's just me. Ain't nobody else here. And I said, well, maybe that was her. She said, no, baby, this lady's not a sales lady. She's a courtesy person just like me. And she can't even get around. She got to get driven to the spot. I said, okay, here we go. So we go back the next day, and everything is locked in. They have a contract with our name on it. Lisa's name, but not the Lisa that we bought the house from. Nobody has ever heard of this lady. And I thought, okay, well, maybe they just capped because she left and she went to a different company and they don't want us to follow her. There's never been a Lisa that fit that description that ever worked for that company. But nonetheless, they said they had our earnest money, and then they said we were going to get back $3,500 at closing. So the house is built, we close on the house. The Lisa that sold us the house does not exist. And I'm like, God is amazing. That funny name on that company, and this is 100, no cap. The name is Gehan, which is Gien. The meaning of Gien, it has dual meaning. It's Hebrew and Irish. It means God is gracious, an unmovable land. Level up and live your best life. And if God for you, can't nobody be against you.
My mom is a type 1 diabetic, and one day she was acting extremely strange. She wasn't being very responsive, so I went to pick up her insulin to see if she would react, but she didn't. Panicked, I called my grandmother, who right away told me to put the phone down and dial for help. For whatever reason, I was so frightened and confused that I didn't. Instead, I told my little brother to run outside and see if he can find somebody who can help us. A few minutes later, my brother comes back in crying, saying that he couldn't find anyone. Not more than 5 minutes go by when a woman just randomly walked into my mom's bedroom. Neither my brother nor I recognized her, but she knew us by name. She had a very soft-spoken and warm feeling about her. She told us to remain calm, that help would be on the way, and that she knew our mom. Shortly after this, the ambulance arrived. When I went to find the woman, she was nowhere to be found. Like she literally had just vanished. Shortly after this, my mom came too, so I explained to her about this mysterious woman and told her what she looked like. Till this day, her reaction sent chills down my spine. My mom had absolutely no idea who this woman was, and we never saw her again.
I picked up this homeless guy that was in the middle, like he was, okay, I have told you, he was driving on the, or I was driving on the side of the road. I picked up a guy who was like, and I knew it was going to get really cold that night. So I took him to the nearest town, which was like the opposite way of which he was going. But he was very mute. He wouldn't talk. He was shaking. And something was like very weird about it. And then I didn't see much clarity in him. But I ended up buying him a motel room and something to eat. And as I was leaving the motel room, I looked back and I saw clarity in his eyes. And we kind of looked at each other, and nodded, and something was just, I was like, something is weird about that. And then I remember whenever I started getting closer to God, it was probably several years later, I read that Bible verse that be careful of how you treat people because you might be entertaining angels. And as soon as I read that Bible verse, my mind kicked back to that moment. And I go, that guy was an angel. And I could see in this guy's eyes that after I had almost like completed the mission that he was sent for.
Are you afraid of death?
No, I'm not. I'm going to tell you, I was afraid of death until I met death. I met death when I was 22 years old.
And what happened when you were 22?
See that mark on my face right there? It was meant for my throat, and it missed me, and I should be dead. It was a domestic relationship. I lost my life. I just was gone for a certain amount of time. And nobody ever believes it, so I don't even tell it anymore. But I just could see all of this like a heavenly host, and I could hear this music just playing, and it was just awesome, and it was really, really, really pretty. And I know what's going to happen in the hereafter. So I'm not afraid of it. I believe in God. I trust Him.
Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe.